Well, on the precipice of a holiday weekend, let us remember this old school phrase, heavy is the head that wears the crown, because in this breaking story, it's time to discuss number 2. Now, normally, under normal circumstances, that would be some sort of a metaphor for how most of us feel about Donald J. Trump. But in this case, of course, it's that effervescent conversation about Mr. Hillbilly Elegy JD Vance. You know, this guy.
I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked him.
We're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. If you look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children. And how does it make any sense that we've turned our country over to people who don't really have a direct stake in it?
I got to be honest with you, I don't really care what happens to Ukraine one way or another.
But man, oh man, is power and position a very strong aphrodisiac, because suddenly your brain can flip to things like this.
Was the election in 2020 free and fair? Was it above board? And my answer is no. I really don't think that it was.
Who, of course, said these things about Donald Trump.
He's exploiting some of the racism that's there, but he's also exploiting people's fears. I think that he's leading people in a very dark direction, and that's ultimately what worries me the most.
Terrible candidate. Idiot if you voted for him. Might be America's Hitler.
I was wrong about Donald Trump. I didn't think he was going to be a good president, Brett. He was a great president.
Gavin Newsom sure thinks he's a comedian these days on social media, and so does much of the left. His polling numbers have gone way up since he started mimicking President Trump on social media.
Yeah.
What do you make of Governor Newsom?
I make of Governor Newsom that you said he's mimicking Donald Trump, and I think that's exactly right. The lesson of Donald Trump.
And yet, JD Vance will continue to play that game and gush compliments like this.
The lesson of President Trump in American politics is you've got to be authentic to yourself. And when I see Gavin Newsom trying to act like Donald Trump, that's the opposite of authenticity. He's not trying to be Gavin Newsom, whoever that is. He's trying to be a fake carbon copy of Donald Trump, and it just doesn't work. You can't mimic the king. You can't mimic the master.
But in this breaking story, with all of the discussions that are surrounding Donald Trump's health and mental acuity, it's getting to the place where JD Vance is starting to spill out how much he might be willing to stab Donald Trump in the back, despite the fact Trump once actually said this.
Yeah, he said some bad things about me, but that was before he knew me, and then he fell in love.
He knows when somebody is selling him a load of BS. He knows when he's making progress, when he needs to cut something off. He knows when he's dealing with somebody that he can trust, and he knows when he's dealing with somebody that he can't trust.
And yet the bottom line is, in this breaking story, just this morning, JD Vance said the out loud part, carefully crafted, but you know what's on the guy's mind. And are you ready for that clown to be president? Check out this breaking story.
Commander-in-Chief, and why should Americans trust you to lead the country?
Well, I've gotten a lot of good on-the-job training in the last 200 days, but also say that the president is in incredibly good health. He's got incredible energy. And while most of the people who work around the President of the United States are younger than he is, I think that we find that he actually is the last person who goes to sleep. He's the last person making phone calls at night, and he's the first person who wakes up and the first person making phone calls in the morning. So, yes, things can always happen. Yes, terrible tragedies happen, but I feel very confident the President of the United States is in good shape, is going to serve out the remainder of his term and do great things for the American people. And if, God forbid, there's a terrible tragedy, I can't think of better on-the-job training than what I've gotten over the last 200 days.
Oh, God forbid. Yes, it would be so horrible for myself and my family for me to be number one, not number two. I don't have to play Ed McMahon to Johnny Carson anymore. I get to be the president. JD Vance, President of the United States. Let that sink in for a sec, because Donald Trump's bad enough in all of the ways that he is. But imagine this clown being the President of the United States. And what's going to be interesting is how JD Vance swims through the White House knowing that Donald Trump will turn and attack anyone that he thinks for 1 millisecond isn't a complete sycophant, completely loyal, and willing to betray their own lives and their own family, please see Michael Cohen, or any long list of people, just as what Pam Bondi's currently doing to her career and Carol Lyon Levitt's doing to her career, how Trump functions when he thinks there's any kind of his own blood in the water, that someone's trying to stab him in the back, right? Brutus and Caesar, that. Let's see how this plays out in the next 4 to 6 months, because let's be honest, Trump's still cramming down McDonald's. He's not getting healthier. So this JD Vance comment of, I'm ready to take the position, I've had 200 days of on-the-job training, like somehow that qualifies him to be president. That is when JD Vance wakes up every day, he's got to be thinking, is this the day? Is this the day I get to be president, Mommy? You guys have a good holiday weekend. Stay frosty.